Hello and welcome to Talk Boost. My name is Anna. Relax, sit comfortably, take a deep breath. Now close your eyes. Listen carefully. Do not hurry. You are here to learn English calmly. You are safe. You are relaxed. Listen to each sentence. Feel the words. Let English enter your mind naturally. Today, we will practice simple present tense. We will practice 4 parts. First, simple sentences. Second, negative sentences. Third, interrogative. Fourth, interrogative plus negative. So let's start. Part 1. Present indefinite tense. I wake up early every day. You like learning English. We live in a small town. They play cricket in the evening. He goes to school by bus. She cooks food for her family. It rains a lot in July. I read books before sleeping. You speak clearly in class. We help each other. They watch movies on weekends. He works in an office. She teaches English very well. It looks beautiful at night. I practice English daily. I like tea when I wake up early. She feels happy when she helps others. We go for a walk after we finish our work. He studies hard because he wants success. They play outside when the weather is good. I read books whenever I get free time. She calls her mother when she feels sad. We eat dinner after we return home. He gets angry when people lie to him. They watch TV after they complete homework. I respect people who speak the truth. She trusts friends who help her in need. We visit places where we find peace. He likes movies that teach good lessons. They follow rules because they value discipline. I feel confident when I practice daily. She smiles whenever she sees her parents. We stay inside when it rains heavily. He works hard so that he achieves his goals. They save money because they plan their future. I help others when I get the chance. She drinks water before she goes out. We listen carefully when the teacher explains. He feels relaxed after he finishes exercise. They speak politely because they respect everyone. I believe in people who stay honest. She avoids food that harms her health. We enjoy moments when we are together. He reads news so that he stays informed. They learn lessons when they make mistakes. I feel proud when my family supports me. She studies daily so that she improves her English. We pray before we start our work. He stays calm when problems arise. They help neighbors whenever someone needs support. I remember days when life feels simple. She follows advice that helps her grow. We stay hopeful because we believe in ourselves. He speaks softly when he talks to elders. They feel satisfied after they complete their tasks. Now we will practice part 2. Present indefinite negative sentences. I do not like coffee. I do not play cricket. I do not wake up late. I do not watch TV daily. I do not understand this lesson. I do not eat fast food. I do not go to bed early. I do not speak French. I do not read novels. I do not drive a car. You do not like noise. You do not work on Sunday. You do not trust strangers. You do not call me often. You do not finish work early. You do not agree with me. You do not waste time. You do not travel alone. You do not remember names. You do not complain much. We do not live nearby. We do not play cards. We do not ignore our teachers. We do not miss classes. We do not eat outside daily. We do not watch movies at night. We do not support cheating. We do not argue unnecessarily. We do not forget our duties. We do not depend on luck. They do not like spicy food. They do not come late. They do not break rules. They do not help others. They do not respect time. They do not share secrets. They do not follow instructions. They do not attend meetings. They do not disturb anyone. They do not make excuses. He does not like tea. He does not play football. He does not wake up early. He does not speak loudly. He does not understand maths. He does not waste money. He does not travel much. He does not trust easily. He does not watch cartoons. He does not forget promises. She does not like rain. She does not cook daily. She does not go out alone. She does not talk rudely. She does not miss deadlines. She does not drink coffee. She does not use mobile much. She does not complain often. She does not make mistakes. She does not feel afraid. It does not work properly. It does not look clean. It does not make noise. It does not smell bad. It does not move fast. It does not break easily. It does not need repair. It does not run smoothly. It does not cost much. It does not fit well. Now, we will practice part 3, present indefinite tense interrogative sentences. Do I wake up early every day? Do I like learning English? Do I drink tea in the morning? Do I work hard for my goals? Do we live in the same city? Do we go to school together? Do we need more time? Do we understand this rule? Do they watch English movies? Do they understand you? Does he like tea? Does he go to school daily? Does he play cricket well? Does he work very hard? Does he speak English? Does she read novels? Does she work in an office? Does she get up early? Does she play badminton? What do you do every morning? What does she like to eat? What do they play after school? What do we need for the trip? What does he write in his diary? What do you watch on TV? What does the teacher explain? What do children learn at school? What do I say in this situation? What does your brother want? Who teaches you English? Who lives in this house? Who helps you with homework? Who calls you every day? Who works in this office? Who knows the answer? Who plays the guitar? Who drives the bus? Who makes this cake? Who brings the milk? Whom do you trust most? Whom does she invite to parties? Whom do they meet on weekends? Whom does he call first? Whom do we ask for help? Whom do you follow online? Whom does the manager praise? Whom do students respect? Whom do I contact today? Whom does she choose as leader? Where do you live? Where does she work? Where do they study? Where does he go every morning? Where do we meet on Sundays? Where do you keep your books? Where does the train stop? Where do children play? Where do I find this file? Where does your father shop? When do you wake up? When does she start work? When do they finish school? When does he exercise? When do we celebrate festivals? When do you feel happy? When does the shop open? When do students take exams? When do I call you? When does the movie begin? Why do you study English? Why does she smile often? Why do they like coffee? Why does he travel a lot? Why do we follow rules? Why do you feel tired? Why does the baby cry? Why do students ask questions? Why do I worry so much? Why does she trust you? How do you solve this problem? How does she cook pasta? How do they manage time? How does he earn money? How do we improve English? How do you reach the office? How does the machine work? How do children learn fast? How do I start the work? How does your sister dance? Part 4. We will practice interrogative plus negative. Why don't I understand this lesson? Why don't you like coffee? Why don't we go to school on Sunday? Why don't they agree with us? Why don't you speak English at home? Why doesn't he come on time? Why doesn't she call her parents? Why doesn't it work properly? Why doesn't John play cricket? Why does Mary like tea? What don't I remember clearly? What don't you want to eat? What don't we need right now? What don't they believe? What don't you understand in this chapter? What doesn't he like about this job? What doesn't she know about the plan? What doesn't the machine do? What doesn't your brother study? What doesn't the teacher explain? Where don't I feel comfortable? Where don't you go alone? Where don't we meet usually? Where don't they work anymore? Where don't you find peace? Where doesn't he live now? Where doesn't she shop? Where doesn't the bus stop? Where doesn't your friend travel? Where doesn't the dog sleep? When don't I feel happy? When don't you wake up early? When don't we study together? When don't they play outside? When don't you listen to music? When doesn't he help you? When doesn't she smile? When doesn't the shop open? When doesn't your father come home? When doesn't the class start? Who don't I trust easily? Who don't you like at work? Who don't we invite to the party? Who don't they support? Who don't you believe? Who doesn't he respect? Who doesn't she follow? Who doesn't the teacher punish? Who doesn't your sister help? Who doesn't the manager call? How don't I understand this rule? How don't you know the answer? How don't we solve this problem? How don't they manage time? How don't you remember his name? How doesn't he realize the truth? How doesn't she care about health? How doesn't the phone charge? How doesn't your brother learn fast? How doesn't the plan work? You did very well today. Learning English is a journey, not a race. Every sentence makes you stronger. Every day makes you better. You are brave. You are capable. You are improving, even when you don't feel it. Trust yourself. Speak slowly. Learn happily. Thank you for listening to Talk Boost. This is Anna, your English learning friend. If this podcast helps you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who wants to learn English. See you in the next lesson. Keep practicing. Keep believing. Goodbye.